All right. What's up, everyone? This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't base anything I say off these videos. Just doing it for pure entertainment purposes only. Jumping on the live this morning. Wanted to, I think talk about AMC and the overall market. I do believe the overall market is going to see kind of a reverse of, we've been kind of been in a somewhat, I guess, I don't really want to call it a bear market, but things have been kind of red for a while. So, um, I think we're going to start to see a reversal soon. Now it could be a head fake. That's one thing you got to watch for is get people excited to buy back in and then crash it down. So there's a couple of scenarios here. Just always kind of monitor the situation and be cautious with what you're doing. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but for me, that's how I'm kind of eyeing the system here. I do think that with this cat system implemented, it's doing a little more than I actually thought it would. So I'm seeing like more upside than I originally thought. I still have that skepticism in me where I'm like, okay, what are they going to do? How are they going to squirm out of it? Like, what type of smart little play are they going to find? What little loophole? So I am skeptical as far as that. So I don't want to be like, oh, it's an all out squeeze no matter what because of the cat system. But I am seeing, in my opinion, I think some of these funds and people that might have something to hide are kind of fighting it harder and harder, and it doesn't look like it's gonna do anything for them. So uh, there is some positive things as far as that goes. So I don't want to say I'm excited, but I'm happy that this cat system goes in. Hopefully it does what it's supposed to do, what we think it would do. But I still don't want to think that it guarantees anything. I don't know if you've been in this market long enough. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing. There is certain things that will move a certain way for a certain amount of time before they switch them up. But when it comes to like a squeeze or anything like that, I don't I don't discount anything that they would do to stop it at this point. So I am you're going to start seeing a lot of other stocks. If you bought into them, cool. If not, don't. For me personally, I'm not going to go chasing them. Like Carvana, I'm not in Carvana, but I don't, I'm not going to go chasing something because I feel like it's one of those things that I'll buy at the top. And I had Carvana a long time ago. I sold, I made some money, and I just left it at that. Um, I am in one called Vroom that kind of trails Carvana, and that one had a reverse split, and it's been kind of shaky since then. But we'll see how it goes. But you're going to see stuff all around you. There's going to be a lot of things to sidetrack you, I believe, personally, in my own personal conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat theory, that everything is really to keep you away from these main ones, GME, AMC. Some of them truly are shorted and they are going to squeeze because they're being illegally naked shorted, or people just want to cover because they don't want to have to deal with those on top of everything else. So, Carvana's been one of those ones that's been going for a while, bumping up and down. But like I said, I'm not chasing anything. I'm not in Carvana, so I don't plan on chasing it, which might be a mistake. Who knows? But for me personally, I'm not jumping into that one. Like I said, I am in Vroom, which usually trails Carvana, ticker symbol VRM. So that one I'm kind of waiting. I'm at a loss right now. I'd been making money on that one for like a whole year and a half, and then I went in big on it, and then boom. That's how it works. You know what I mean? So now I'm just kind of just holding it and seeing what happens with it. But other than that, AMC, I think it's still the same scenario. I bought more shares this morning. I didn't even really care to try to wait for the price to go out a penny or two. I just bought it with every broker as I logged in. So bought a few more shares, and a lot of people kind of, I guess, I don't know if they talk down or what the reasoning is. They don't, they're like, why are you only buying 2 or 3 shares a day? Well, for someone like me, that's just how it works. I'm able to do it without stressing it, and I can monitor my, if I had $20,000 just to dump in right now, yes, of course I would. But I can't take $20,000 and dump it in because I've got other things going on in my life. I've got a business. I've got long term, just in case things were ever to go wrong there. I keep money on the side for that. I've got several things going on. So I don't know why I'm trying to explain that, but this is how it works for me. That's how I've always played it, how I've played a lot of plays. Also, Cinemark beat earnings. You know, and I almost feel like it's going to be like, oh, people are going to be like, oh, Cinemark can do it. Why can't AMC? Well, AMC can and will. It's a different company, different beast. You know, obviously, I believe if you're in AMC long enough, you know that AMC is more manipulated than any other stock in history, in my personal opinion. I mean, obviously, I can't prove anything, or we'd already be fucking rich. Sorry, excuse my French. But you know, Cinemark, there's going to be a lot of stuff going around like, oh, why didn't Adam Aaron do this? Or why doesn't the board do that? It's always going to be the same thing. So for me, my only theory I have personally, not financial advice, I'm not telling you anything what you should do, but for me, it's buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. And, you know, since I am only buying, let's say, you know, 5 to 20 to 30 shares a day, 10 shares a day, some days maybe 3 shares a day, but, you know, they add up. You know what I mean? So if you add, like you look at me, I usually add on average probably 2 shares per broker. Um, what, like seven brokers. You know what I mean? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 shares a day. Probably about, I would say I average about a little more than that. Let's just say 15 shares a day. So at this price, if you can get that many shares a day, um, you know, what you're almost 15, 30, 60, you know what I mean? 75, you're getting like almost 100 shares a week. So anyways, sorry, someone's coming up here, but yeah, so I mean, even if you're only getting 2 shares a week, 3 shares a week, at this point, I believe the price of this stock should be a lot more than it is. I don't think that it should be sitting at where it's at. So for me, it's a value. It's a good buy. I'm gonna keep jumping in while I can. Um, but I do think the CAT system news coming in, you know, it's an audit trail, you know. So if you have to, I don't know if you've ever had to deal with an audit, but it is very meticulous, very, you know, in detail. And if you're having to do this often, like this is, it's going to uncover things that I don't think you can hide on a daily basis like that, you know. So, and it's going to give out names of the funds that are going against it, and you know, it's going to bring out a lot to light, I believe. But I still have this kind of skepticism, like I said, in the back of my head, like how are they going to squirm out of it? What little loophole will they find? I don't know for sure, but I just feel like there probably is, um, probably, you know, I don't want to say probably, or I don't know, but I just, maybe it's just because I'm scarred from this here market and thinking that, you know, scams or whatever. I don't know. It just feels like there might be something that they can cover up. But regardless of the fact, for me, it's buy and hold, buy and hold. I still feel like this is the play that could definitely give me life-changing money, um, and I'm willing to bet this amount of money that I keep betting on it. So, um, if AMC were to pop and it squeezed, you know, out of nowhere, um, it's gonna. I don't think it'll be like a lot of people try to make it seem like, oh, you know how hard it would have to, or how much thousands of percent it would have to go for it to jump up like that. And I'm like, yes, and it might sound crazy to you, but it doesn't sound crazy to me. I've seen this stock jump like crazy. I it would not surprise me if this thing went from 3 to 30 to 50 to 60 to 100 within a week or two, like when it starts popping. Or, you know, there is halts, but I think it's going to get to a point where we haven't seen those for a while. That's one thing you always got to remember. When you see halts, I don't believe that's the actual squeeze. I believe that's them capping it, and because they can. I think once this thing goes and they just let it rip and there's nothing they can do about it, I don't think we see those halts. So that's just a personal thought, personal opinion. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you for certain if but that's just kind of what I feel like it would be. You know, I think once you cut the halts, you might see a couple of little halts here and there, but I think when they just say, hey man, just let it go, then I think that's when it's okay. You got to monitor it, you know. Um, like if we were to go to 3 to 70 without a halt, and then it halts there, you got to really do your work, you know. Do your own DD. Okay, is this it? Is it not going to go any higher, or is this a fake out? Um, volume, you got to look at volume, all these things you're gonna have to consider on your own. When it comes down to that, you know, the day when it does have that massive volatility, you know, it's I'll probably try to jump on as much as I can, but at the same time, I'm gonna be focusing on, you know, trying to make that money we've been trying to make for years. So, it's just it is what it is, man. I'm gonna jump up out of here. I gotta run to my daughter's little preschool graduation. So y'all have a good day, be blessed, and let's get her soon. Peace.